Hail and Meshes Adventures, it's me, the Spot King. Welcome to the world of Baldur's Gate 3 and let's go and see my new guide on the Druid build. Today we will play Circle of the Moon Druid. But at the first level, Druid can't pick his subclass. So we start with basic Druid, and for race I will choose Halfling, and especially Strong Heart Halfling. Strong Heart Resilience will give you advantage on saving throws against poison and poison damage, and it will be nice feats like Lucky and Brave to have ability to reroll attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks when you're rolling for 1, and advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Because Circle of the Moon Druid won't be in this form all the day, he most of the time will be in the form of some beasts. So our class is Druid, and we can pick 2 of the 6 cantrips. I recommend to stick always with Thorn Whip, and other good choices can be Shillelagh or actually Koi Guidance, because in Kain most of the time you will be in the form of some beast, you don't need this Shillelagh a lot. So for background we want to pick Outlander for athletics and survival, or maybe Noble for history persuasion, just whatever you like actually. So for abilities, we pick skill proficiency in animal handling, because when we play Druid it's a lot of fun to go and speak with animals, and nature for role-playing purposes. But if you don't want to have this nature stuff, you can go and have proficiency in perception. It will help you role-playing. So for ability points distribution, we will stick with this lineup. Nothing in strength, nothing in charisma, and we go 14 into dex, 14 into con, 12 into intelligence, and 15 into wisdom, our main primary abilities for our spellcasting. And we can drop +2 into wisdom and +1 into constitution. And last but not least, we need to prepare some spells. So for Druid, it's nice to get Goodberry, to have some healing for you and your party, Ice Knife for damage purposes, and Entangle for controlling stuff. And just like that, our Druid is ready to go into the battle. So let's see how we get our first levels, to make our build running, of course. So level 2, we already can pick our subclass. So for our subclass, we're going for Circle of the Moon today for this build. Of course, I got builds for every subclass. It will be in a pinned comment when they are ready. So subscribe before they don't. Subclass features will give you ability to go into wild shape while in combat, so you can use it as bonus action. And this is big, like while other druids can go and be in wild shape too, Circle of the Moon Druid can do it in combat. And why it's big? Because in different combats you want to be in different shapes. On one combat you want to be badger, on another combat you want to be wolf, for example, or even bear, and etc, etc. But if you play a normal druid, you will need to use your first action, that you will do in a battle, to pick your form. And most of the druids won't have different forms like bear, for example, and Circle of the Moon unlocks it on level 2. Additionally, you can use your spell slot to regain hit points while in wild shape, so it's nice to be self-sufficient, and you will get one more spell to prepare. I will suggest to go and pick Chunder Wave for controlling stuff, and Healing Word to be able to heal as bonus action in fights. That's a big stuff too. Let's go to level 3 right now. So level 3 will unlock a lot of level 2 spells for us, and of course additional level 1 spell slot and additional level 2 spell slot. So we get one more prepared spell, and we can prepare every spell that we know. So for Druid you will know a lot of spells, but you need to prepare them in advance, more on that in a minute. But on level 3 you can already switch some spells. You can, for example, pick Hold Person, it's a very nice spell, and switch Ice Knife for Flaming Sphere. This will be nice build on level 3. And let me show you this in action. So first of all, let me explain how to play Druid very fast. It's a build video, so I'm not explaining everything about Druid. I got guides for every class too. But for now, let me explain. So you go to the spell book and you got 6 prepared spells, and you know a lot of more spells. So when the fight starts, you will be able to cast only these 6 prepared spells. But before fight starts, you can prepare any spell that you wish. and only prepared spells will be available to you in a fight. I hope it makes sense. So you get spell slots, and every spell that you cast, for example, we want to cast Goodberry, will require spell slot. You can upcast some spells, and upcasting some spells will do additional stuff, but for example for Goodberry it won't give you any additional stuff. Keep this in mind and always read this upcast stuff. So we cast Goodberry at level 1 spell slot, and we just lost spell slot, so we got only 3 spells to cast before we take our long rest. So if you want to regain your spell slots, you need to take a long rest. Don't forget, you can give Goodberries to your team, or you can just eat them and heal yourself if you're injured. So bear forms, wild shapes, I mean, we can use 2 wild shapes per short rest. So let's go and I show you wild shapes. For example, you can go into Spider on level 3 already, and Spider is very beautiful big arachnid. So Spider can dash, can disengage, can hide, can't use arachnid jump, and it's very long jump or very high distance, so it's really nice stuff. And of course you will get Lunar Mend to regain your hit points. It's not Arachnid stuff, it's your Druid Circle of the Moon stuff. And you can cast Web, and it's available only in combat, and possibly will enweb your person. So if person enwebbed, he cannot move, and attack rolls will have advantage against this person. So Arachnid is kinda nice controlling dude with 20 hit points on level 3. But we can go and dismiss our wild shape, of course, and let me show you another wild shapes and how and when to use them. So Badger is nice wild shape of big and cool Badger. So this Badger most often will just attack with his claws for nice damage, or use Burrow. So Burrow, when you're burrowing over some object or some person, this person can be prone if he in the center of this attack. So again, nice ability to just go and appear near the enemies. So Badger party, let's go. And again, we just lost all our wild shapes. We can go and use short rest, and we regain these wild shapes again. So we can use more wild shapes. We got wild shape Wolf, and Wolf more attacking wild shape with 18 hit points and inciting howl. So that's nice wild shape to start your fight if you got a party with a lot of melee champions, for example. So you just use this, and everyone got additional 3 meter for their next turn to move. Pretty nice to start the battle. And Exposing Bite is nice stuff, because your first attack, if it hits, the next attack will be critical hit. Very cool stuff. So next our form will be... what is next form? It will be Wild Shape Cat. And Cat is funny wild shape with 2 HP, 2 hit points. You can be a cat, you can distract enemies, but most of the time it's mostly like fun wild shape for like maybe role playing and other stuff. Not very usable in combat in this form actually, because you just got 2 HP. But don't forget, when you die in your wild shape, you won't be dead, so you will be back in your normal form. That's why wild shape druids with Circle of the Moon got kinda 3 bars of hit points, so you can just go and become bear in a fight, this big polar bear, and with this big polar bear you can make a roar just like that, and this will force enemies to attack you. So it's nice tanky form. Wolf is more attacking form, this one is more tanky form, and it's already got 30 HP. And if we die again, we will back to our form. So how your early fights will look like, let's go. Most of the time as Circle of the Moon Druid, you won't start your fight in a wild shape. So you can use your action, don't forget, if you want to use your action. For example, you want to go and maybe distract some enemies or entangle them to just disable them. So you can use Entangle, or you can use Hold Person. It's like far better choice. But target must be humanoid, so you can't hold these imps, but you can entangle these targets easily. So another good stuff that you can use as Druid is Torn Whip, of course. It's his cantrip. You can use it however you like and how much often you like, because it's cantrip and cantrips not requiring any spell slots. So this cantrip can just take a target and throw it into you with a turn whip. So for example, if you stay like over here and you turn with this guy, possibly he will fall off the cliff and go into like his destiny. So another good way to start as level 3 Moon Druid is to go and cast Flaming Sphere. So Flaming Sphere is action and it's level 2 spell, and you will cast Flaming Sphere. It will summon the sphere that can move freely, it can attack, it can do whatever it likes, but it will inflict fire damage to your enemies. And then after you summoned your Flaming Sphere, you need to keep concentration on it, and you can go and transfer into some shape, whatever you like. So for example, for this fight it's easy and we maybe need one more damage dealer, so why not to become a wolf? Just like that. So we became wolf, we can move on our turn, but we can't attack, so we end turn. So now it's Flaming Sphere turn, Flaming Sphere can attack, we end our turn with Flaming Sphere. Let's watch what this dude will do. It's firing Firebolt and we doing our concentration saving throw. That's why we need high con on Druid, because low con means we won't be able to keep our concentration going. And just like that, we can use our exposing bite on any enemy that we want. For example, on this, and we will stay here for now. We just go and attack with our Flaming Sphere, and we actually cautious because Flaming Sphere inflicting friendly fire damage too, because it is basically Flaming Sphere, and as you can see, this imp is affected with Flaming Aura, and it means that creature is standing within 1.5 meter of Flaming Sphere and will take 2 to 12 fire damage at the end of its turn, basically 2d6. He's trying to escape from Flaming Sphere, it's a smart move actually, and we just going and attacking this bro. That's how you play your druids. You can still be in this like wolf form if you want to. You can eat your good berries if you prepared some in advance, or you can go and become normal druid right now. Don't forget you can give your good berries to your party members. And just like that, I guess it's time to go and level up more and show you what Moon Druid will look like in advance. So on level 4 you will get additional actions. You can be Deep Rose or Dire Raven, so it's new forms. Additional cantrip, nice cantrip will be Produce Flame, it will produce your flame and you can throw it. Basically pretty funny and interesting cantrip if you need it in dark places. And you will unlock Feat. So for first feat for our build we will go with ability improvement in Constitution and Wisdom, just like that, easy and straightforward. And let's continue our build to level 5. Level 5 Druid will get increased health, additional spell slot of level 3, Wild Strike. You can make additional attack after making unarmed strike while in wild shape. So basically when you're in wild shape you will get additional attacks. That means you want to be in wild shape as often as possible, mostly all over the place, all the time. So, and you get access to a lot of level 3 spells, actually 6 level 3 spells. What good build will look like right now? I would suggest to go and use Spike Growls to just affect a little bit of battlefield and use it as a zoning controlling tool. Additionally, you can use protection from energy, because maybe you're in a fight when you don't need Flaming Sphere, so you can concentrate on this spell and have resistance to any type of damage that you need in particular fight. And while Spike grows, actually making some zone is just not usable at all. It's not usable not only for your enemies, but for you too. You can't go through Spike Growth. But if you're using Plant Growth instead, then it's kinda disabled for your enemies, but maybe it will be good for you, because you can make some interesting combo that I will show you just right now, even on level 5. So on level 5 you can do something like this. You can just summon this, where is this spell? Plant Growth, for example. And you can go into Wild Shape, and of course it will be Wild Shape Badger. So when you're in Wild Shape Badger, you're still concentrating on this stuff, and while you are Badger, you can go and make burrow over here. And just like that, you won't be affected by this plant growth and enemy can't escape you, and you're totally fine to attack him in this bush of a lot of roses. Pretty beautiful, funny and interesting stuff. Just look at this badger. So let's unlock a lot more forms. On level 6 your attacks become magical and it will be overcoming from enemy resistances. So if enemy is resistant to your physical attacks, they won't be able to resist more. Now the immunity not working. You get additional wild shapes of panther and owl bear. Awesome wild shapes from just level 6. You get additional spell, so you can use whatever you like. I will suggest like this is nice lineup of spells. Most of the time it's like mostly useful, but maybe you're in very dark place, you want to put daylight prior to fight, so daylight is nice spell too. Let's go to our level 7 druid and we get access to level 4 spells right now. There's a lot of attacking spells, a lot of controlling spells and all this stuff. So what I would suggest is to just swap some spells that you're not using right now. Maybe you stopped using Entangle, for example, or Healing Word, I don't know, but Healing Word is kind of nice spell for you to use right now. Best ideas is to go and use Conjurer Woodland Being. It will give you ability to summon Dryad on your side. And for controlling purposes, Grasping Vine could work very good. We go to our next level, it will be level 8. On level 8 we get Sabertooth Tiger. I will show you all of this in a minute. So, but first of all we need to pick our feat, and on level 8 I suggest to go and pick Warcaster. It will help you keep concentration. It will help you have advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration basically. And as you all know already, there's a lot of concentration spells that you want to keep going on while you're in wild shape. And that's a very important feat. So we keep it and let's go to our level 9. Level 9 will unlock level 5 spells already. Additional prepared spells. I suggest to keep Conjure Elemental. Again, it's nice friend to be on your side. And depending on what you want. If you need a little bit more healing in your party, Mass Cure Wounds will work. If you want to be more like zoning dude, then go for Insect Plague. Or if you want a little bit more zoning while not zone yourself out, then go for Wall of Stone. But I like Insect Plague, actually very nice and interesting spell. And we go into our level 10 druid, which will unlock a lot more HP again, more spell slots, and improved Wild Strike. You can make 2 additional attacks after making an armed strike while in wild shape. So basically on level 10 you can make 3 attacks in a row when you're in wild shape. You gain in 1 more cantrip. Actually you don't care versus a cantrip, so you can pick whatever you like. They're not doing too much on level 10 anyway. You will get additional wild shape, Dilophosaurus. You can be Dinosaur and you get more actions. This will be a wild shape Air Myrmidon, Earth Myrmidon, Fire or Water Myrmidon. We will see them in a minute, but first of all again 1 more spell. You can pick 1 more spell and right now just pick whatever you like. Freedom of movement is kinda nice stuff because it at least should work like this. You cast it on yourself if you can cast it on yourself, not on your ally, but it's nice to cast on your ally too. And you can move freely on like stuff like plant growth and other hard terrain. So we're going to our level 11 and build kinda done, but we get our level 6 spells. And for level 6 spells I recommend Hero's Feast, just to get your increased HP to wall your party. It's very nice and strong spell. Additionally, good spells can be like Sunbeam, dealing nice damage, and Wall of Thorns is very strong too, so we will use it instead of like Insect Plague. And level 12 will give you last feat. So for last feat you can pick, for example, Toth to have more HP and it will be from 1 to 3 HP on this level, or you can go and have ability improvement into Constitution instead. It will leave you 1/1/1 but have larger impact not on health points but on your constitution saving throws, or you can go and max out your wisdom to have like best spellcasting ability. I would suggest to go and pick 18 in constitution and makes like kind of balanced class. So let's see this late game monster. So our wild shapes, that's a lot. Let's start with a Panther. So Panther got nice stat block, nice HP as you can see. And by the way, almost all animals will have like stat block of their own. So as you can see, we got 0 strength, but we got 14 strength when we are playing Panthers. That's why we don't need any strength when you're playing Druid. So as Panther, you can have Prowl, it's basically becoming invisible, and you can run around, ambush someone. You can have Jugular Strike, very strong strike on your enemies. You can use Pounce to attack enemies from the distance. And that's what the Panther is all about. Next up is Deep Rote. I don't know how to pronounce this right. So he got 48 HP. This is his stat block if you want to see it. And by the way, write me in the comment, do you need to see it actually? And Rote can charge, so you can charge from the distance and attack your enemies and make them prone for 2 turns. That's a big stuff. By the way, I want to show you one more time Wild Sheep Bear. So Bear starting, and as you can see, they are affected by our stat points. So this bear definitely have 111 HP right now, and he's really big and scary tank, I guess. So another wild sheep is Sabertooth. So Sabertooth is like more scary, more powerful Panther, but without invisibility. So he can shed armor, and this will reduce armor class of enemy by 2. Very nice ability. Actually, if you got like hard opponents that is harder to hit, so for example, we can hit Lae'zel, and if we actually would hit her, there's not a big chance actually. So right now it's far more easier to hit her. As you can see, -2 to armor class, really changing everything. So let me change our wild shape, this like strong dude, and let me help her. Get up, bro. So let's continue investigating our wild shapes. Wild shape Dire Raven is used to just fly around. So if you want to take like nice high ground position, you can use spider form, or you can use this form too. So when you're using fly, you can fly all over the place, and when you fly in, you just go and transform again into human. That's usable when you want to cast some spells from the high ground. For example, you go to the high ground and cast Spike Growth over there. So you can start your fight like this. You can go into Raven, go to the human form, or just little halfling form, of course, and just like that. So let's summon Dryad, so you can enjoy this beautiful Dryad. And Dryad got a lot of abilities too, so she can use Spike Growth instead of you, and you can use double Spike Growth in the field when you have Dryad and your Druid, and that's just crazy. Or you can summon this Conjure Elemental with my build, and you have a lot of different elementals. I guess you like to see this Fire Myrmidon, and now we got Dryad and Fire Myrmidon on our side, just like that. We already can have Flaming Sphere, so now we got Concentration Spell and 2 friends. Just like that, we don't need anyone. We already got party of 4, and of 4 very strong guys. Fire Myrmidon got 1, 2, 3 HP, 123. So he's crazy dude that can just make fire swipe with his sword. He can make a lot of damage with his sword again, and he can do like some crazy stuff to have Hast for a few turns. But let's come back to our Druid, of course. And if you saw, like Myrmidon got 2 actions, so two attacks in 1 turn. Let's continue our wild shape examination. Next wild shape will be a fun favorite, I guess, and it will be, of course, Owlbear. Everyone likes Owlbears, And when you're in all bear form, you get even more HP than polar bear. You will get enrage that is available in combat. To fear your enemies, you can have rapture for nice attacks. And crushing flight. So if you go and flight like that, you see you're all bear, you can make your enemies prone for few turns. You attack with jumping. So very nice, very cool, interesting form actually. And I need to restore my shape shift forms to become Dilophosaurus, I guess. Yeah, Dilophosaurus is like dinosaur. So dinosaur, this is like his stat block. Again, we're keeping our int, we're keeping our wisdom, but we got high strength, high dex, so this is like nice damage dealer class. 96 HP, he can pounce, so he can pounce on enemies from the distance, and corrosive speed is making attack with poison damage, just like that. Awesome stuff. So if you want to be poisonous dinosaur, then use this shape. But we will get out of this shape and we get to our next shape, which is actually this Myrmidon. So we can be any Myrmidon that you want, but it will take two forms. So we can use only one time per short rest this form. So for example, you want to take like Fire Myrmidon form again, but let's just for fun we're picking another form. Maybe it will be Air Myrmidon, so we will be kind of different. And we're kind of same as this dude, but we get Electrical Flail, which is like electric sword attack. We get a Raging Vortex, so we can summon this stuff and silence everyone. And just like that, we can have invisibility and other abilities to other guys. Sorry, bros. I guess they're not happy. And yeah, this Air Myrmidon can fly instead of jump, so it's really funny. So in late game you can play like this. You can become Myrmidon because it's like very strong forms of your wild shapes, and for example we already saw Fire and Air Myrmidon, but let's become maybe Earth Myrmidon this time. So we know Earth Myrmidon and we can go into the fight, but first of all, before fight, always take your short rest, because this will recharge your wild shape charges while you're in the wild shape, so you can start fight as Myrmidon, and if you need, you can change yourself into the bear form or whatever you like later in the game. I mean later in the fight. So we're starting our fight. Oh, Myrmidon, what's up? And basically we just go and attack with everyone you got, so you can attack with your Fire Myrmidon, then go and summon some Spike Growls with Dryad. Then finally you can go and use some actions as yourself, depending on what Myrmidon you are. And you can teleport with Elemental Warp as Myrmidons too, so you don't need to move always. Don't forget about this. And as Dryad you can summon this wood bro. Call him Grot, I guess. His name is Grot. Or Groot, I don't know how to pronounce this too. So he can attack with you, so that's like a really big and crazy party, if you ask me. So just use your abilities that you want, or dismiss wild shape, become normal druid and use your powerful spells. Most often you will use this Spike Wall, for example, to just inflict damage to everyone that you see, and they're just crazy difficult terrain, as you can see. If your party is in trouble, you can use your healing word as your bonus action, or you can use again your wild shape to become another wild shape of your choice that is nice in this fight. So we became this beautiful old bear. Yeah, nice birdie. And I hope you enjoyed this Druid Circle of the Moon build. You will use it and enjoy this beautiful game of Baldur's Gate 3. Go watch my other videos, they're very funny and on the screen right now, and I got guides for every class, every subclass in the pinned comment when they ready. See you in the next videos, guys.